If you know me, you know that I love Mazdas, more specifically, their RX line of cars. So by association, I love all things having to do with RX-7s. So when I got the chance to play an arcade game featuring an FC, I jumped on it. Okay, so this isn't an RX-7, but it led to my point. This is Pong. Pong is regarded as one of the first video games widely available to the public. It was made by Atari and featured a simple premise of digital table tennis. It was such a success that a Pong cabinet currently resides in the Smithsonian because of its cultural impact. But every success has its replicas and duplicates. Just ask the Fiero kit car community. Enter Tomohiro Nishikado. Nishikado worked for the Taito Trading Company and saw the importance of electronics in the gaming space. He requested the funds to purchase a Pong cabinet and reverse engineer it. Nishikado learned how the game worked and modified it to create new games for Taito. They were released less than a year after Pong debuted. Taito was officially in the video game business. Taito went on to make a little game called Space Invaders, which was a smash hit in 1978. Every kid in America had played Space Invaders, or at least was envious of those who had. But let's jump to the 1980s.
Come on in. It's almost another world here in the video arcades of America. 1 billion games are played every month.
You can't get hooked on it.
This is the after-school rush in Oakland.
It just takes a lot of skill, hand-eye coordination, and it doesn't cost as much as some other things, and it's legal.
Enter Hiroyuki Saku. Saku worked for Sega and helped develop the iconic game Outrun, which was a game that capitalized on the Magnum PI craze featuring Miami-inspired graphics and a red Ferrari. It was an absolute hit, but Saku didn't agree with the way Sega was being ran as a company and how he was being treated. So, he packed his bags and moved over to Taito, bringing his knowledge with him. Having worked on the Outrun game, Saku repeated his work to help Taito make the game Full Throttle. Full Throttle was nearly a carbon copy of Outrun, with the addition of a turbo button and upgraded game boards, a known weak spot in Sega's Outrun game. The Ferrari was then swapped out in favor of the poor man's Ferrari, the Mazda Rx-7. The game was released in July of 1987, in Japan only, but not for long. You see, game distribution in the 1980s was vastly different than what it is today. You can't just click download and in a couple of minutes be playing your new game. There were whole companies that were dedicated to bringing the cutting-edge games from Japan to the United States. That's where Romstar comes in. Romstar licensed games from Capcom, SNK, Sega, Game Boy, and of course, Taito. Romstar imported the Full Throttle game boards to the United States. Upon receiving the game boards, they would build cabinets complete with graphics and titles in English. Upon completing the cabinets, they switched the name from Full Throttle to Top Speed for the American market. It was released in August of 1987, 11 months after Outrun, and the game was a hit. Kind of. Well, in reality, it was viewed as an Outrun ripoff, which, to be fair, it literally was. However, racing game fans praised its gameplay and use of the turbo boost button, something Outrun didn't get. Some people are die-hard fans of one or the other, but to the other 99% of the population, they're the same. While it never says the name, the car featured is clearly a Series 4 Mazda Rx-7, mainly for the fact that the Series 5 hadn't come out yet by the time the game was released, but it's also the only video game to my knowledge to feature the rear window taillights, iconic with the S4. Gameplay was nearly identical to Outrun. Your car would speed down the street and you would dodge traffic and try to finish in the quickest time possible. It had a steering wheel, low and high gear shifter, the turbo boost button, and of course some selectors. One of my favorite things they featured on the game cabinet itself is the gauges, which are actually Mazda Rx-7 FC gauges. Kind of fun. While games like Initial D, Forza, and Need for Speed would go on to feature later RX-7s, Top Speed was one of the first, and as it was a product of the late 1980s, it's incredibly retro. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. If you guys want to see more in-depth videos on Mazda memorabilia like this, please leave it in the comment section down below what you'd like to see next. any other ideas. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will leave you with a video of my good friend Colton and his efforts to scan in old rotary magazines and keep print ads alive in the digital space. Take care, guys.